Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Null Zone. This is the Tartar Zone Talks, and it seems like the Mirror newspaper have doubled down on their story that Millie Gibson was axed from Doctor Who. And below, you'll see there's a question. So, do you believe Millie Gibson was sacked? If the answer is no, then give a reason for her departure. If it was yes, then why do you believe she was sacked? And we're going to talk about this and we're going to stick to this topic because, it BBC still haven't made any statements. And she was photographed looking rather disheveled, if I must say. Um, and I would say that the speculation and the rumors, and obviously channels like ours talking about it, are probably not um, doing the young woman any favors. But the bottom line is, as fans, obviously, we're going to talk about it because it is, they made such a big deal out of our casting, and to find out now that she's not going to be in the show is a bit of a shock. Look, as I said, Millie Gibson still had a bit to prove to me. I wasn't 100% convinced of her yet, but like every companion, I was willing to give Millie a chance to see how she would excel in the role, or would she, obviously ultimately become a failure. But we don't really have many failures when it comes to companions until we got to the previous era, let's just say. But I don't think there's been many. Even in the 80s, some of the casting choices, yeah, people frowned upon and stuff like that. But I mean, I think they've been rather okay with companions most of the time. Um, so I don't think Millie would have been any different. Um, but something has happened. Something has definitely happened. I do believe now. Look, Mirror doubling down tells me they know that they've got a good source, and that's the truth. The thing that must be killing Millie is until the season airs, she can't open her mouth. Um, and that would probably be where the stress is coming from. So that's the topic. So I'm going to be asking the panel. We've already got one of our panelists ready to go. Yes, we normally do start at 7, but I'll be starting these streams a little bit early because I'll every Wednesday I'm going to be busy now. I've got shit to do. Paddy's Day is coming up as well, and we're organising our own thing and stuff like that. And there's stuff to be done. And you know, flyers to be given out and all of that, which reminds me I've got to ask for those bleeding flyers first. So yeah, loads of stuff going on for Paddy's Day because Paddy's Day, like everything else, that's that you used to have has been taken over by the rainbow crowd. So now the Patrick's Day parade is a bit more like a drag fest. So yeah, we don't want to expose our kids to that rubbish. So there's going to be a fun family day set up and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I can imagine the media report. Oh, far right gather for family day. Loads of nationalist flags and racist bigots. I can imagine it'll be it'll be funny. Anyway, let's see who's in the chat before we bring on our co-host. So yeah, I'll be starting these a little bit earlier than normal. So I have sent PD, so he'll probably just arrive here at 7, which is no harm because we'll be able to get Queen Charlotte's opinion on this topic. Now you're looking pin sharp, HD, and sounding great. Thank you. I think yeah. I mean, you're right. I do look sharp when you missed. Thanks for that. I really appreciate the compliments. A few people have actually complimented on how I look, which never really happens. So it's weird when it does. And I've gotten compliments so far, so I'm starting to wonder: are people going to kill? Am I being killed off or something for some sort of ritual? Because everybody I'm used to just people being, except for the people that I know here. I'm used to people being nasty and stuff like that. So it's nice. So thank you for that. We got Lindsay in the chat as well. We got Michael in the chat. Also, Garbage is in the chat, and Taylor Swift, greater than Disney Star Wars and MCU, is in the chat. I thought, well, I mean, it's not hard to beat Disney Star Wars and the MCU nowadays. So I have to be honest with you. My dog Ted is greater than Disney Star Wars and the MCU. So there you go. We got Facebook user in the chat. Remember, if you're on Facebook, there's some weird setting you could do if you want to show your name. If you don't do that, then you're going to come up as Facebook user. So if you want to tell me who you are, I'll give you a shout out. We got Philip as well. Hey, Noel, what's the tea? Gibson being a cow again. Well, we did report on this last year. So she has been accused of being a bit of a diva and not liking the night shoots. Now, someone has dug up an old article uh, where Billy Piper was also complaining about the night shoots. And I think the point that the fan was trying to make was, well, why are you sacking Millie if you didn't sack Billy, sort of thing? Or she's not the first one to moan about night shoots. And she certainly wouldn't be. Even some of the doctors have complained about the night shoots. But this is what I would add. She's paid to do that, right? She's paid to do that. She joined Doctor Who. She's paid to do that. If she didn't know what Doctor Who entailed, then she shouldn't have. She should have told RTD, "Thank you for the opportunity, but no, thank you." Right? Do I believe she had a bit of an attitude problem? Absolutely. She's 19 years of age. What 19-year-old girl doesn't have a bit of an attitude like the lads out there? Of course, she has a bit of an attitude. Did she like night shifts? No, of course she wouldn't. As a 19-year-old, of course she wouldn't. The only time you like being up at night time as a 19-year-old is if you're out partying. You don't want to be stuck in work, do you? So I can understand this. So this thing where some fans are making this as an excuse, the reason why she's got sacked. I don't think that's the main reason, because certainly Billy Piper didn't like the night shoots, and there were certainly doctors that didn't like night shoots, actors that played the doctor. So it's nothing new. We know that actors and actresses don't like night shoots; they just hate them. But it's part of the job. There's something else going on here, right? It's not because of our attitude. And what I think it is, and I'll say it out straight. I gave three. Do you remember? I gave you three plausible explanations. Right. The first one was she left of her own will because she couldn't hack it, which nobody would criticize her for. Right. She got out because she couldn't do it. Right. Nothing wrong with that. No shame in that. Or Disney went to them and says, "Listen, we've got an unknown playing the Doctor, and we've got an unknown playing the Companion, and we need to bring someone in that's known to the American audience. So we've got an actress in mind to play the Companion, and they brought in your woman, right?" Or it's as blatant as this: they didn't want Millie Gibson in because they wanted, as some people have pointed out, they got their first TARDIS, and there's no white person basically on the TARDIS. So it's the first diverse Doctor and Companion, right? So if you're looking at it cynically that way, then that's one plausible explanation. The other one is the Disney one, what I said, is that she's not well known, right? And neither is Shooty in America. They're not well known. And they thought, look, this probably won't go as well. We need someone in there that is known. So rather than change Shooty, who they've made a big deal out of, and I know they've done the same with Millie, but it'd be easier to replace Millie than it would be to replace Shooty Gatwa. Think about it. If Shooty does the 4 season and then like they announce, oh, he's leaving, after season, like there'd be upheaval, right? I still do believe he might leave season 2, season 3, or he might leave the Christmas special. Personally speaking, um, but changing the companion's not much of a big deal to them than it would be for us fans. But let's bring Queen Charlotte in on this because she has been listening back there for the last 10 minutes. It'll be interesting to hear what her take on it is. But she's definitely gone. There's no denying it now. What baffles me is that BBC, Bad Wolf Studios, or Disney haven't even made a statement, and I think that's what's bad because the media are going to keep speculating. They're going to keep talking about it, and remember, she can't open her mouth. So I say she's very stressed at the moment because she'd want to get her side out. Because remember as well, there are some people that are coming out and saying, well, the reason why she was sacked is because she was a diva. Now, if you're listening to that as a 19-year-old and that's not true, think about it, you were 19 at one time. If someone's saying something about you that's not true, are you going to sit there and keep your mouth shut? No, you're going to want to defend yourself. Right? I think that's for any person. It doesn't matter what your age is, to be quite honest with you. But especially at that age, you don't want people thinking that you're this, that, and the other. Right? Because you get a bit of a reputation. And especially in her line of work, she wouldn't want that. So she would, if she had her way, she'd already would have said something about all of this situation. But it's BBC. It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. Raymond O'Reilly is in the chat as well, and Real Super Doctor and Philip Archer. But let's bring her on. It's the one and only Queen Charlotte.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Yeah, it'll take a few seconds because of me stream here, but there you go. I mean, you've heard my opinion on it. I mean, this whole situation's get very messy now. Where do you stand on it? Do you think she was? Do you think she was? Do you think she was fired? Do you think she left of her own accord? Or do you think Disney may have said, look, as I've explained, we got two unknowns, but we need someone in there to maybe help the show. It's all right, PD. Sure, we started early. I'll be starting 50, not at 7 from now on. It'll be 7:15, but it's my bad. But I did send you the link. Get here when you can. I haven't even asked Queen Charlotte what she thinks yet, so you got plenty of time. I'm not being yapping away as usual. Anyway, what do you think it is, Queen Charlotte? And what do you think the effect it's having on her? Because I've seen a photograph of her, and she does. She looks very tired. She looks very stressed. You could tell that that she's under some sort of stress. She's not getting much sleep. It looks like that to me, anyway.
Yeah, I think she got pushed. I think it's like the lesser angle or axed. I think it's one of those two things, because if she would have left, Bad Wolf would have made a statement, or she would have been allowed to come out and say, I've loved my time on the show, but I will be having a reduced role and leaving after the first series. Like, if it was completely her going to Russell or somebody saying, I can't do this anymore, I think they would have allowed her to make a statement by this point.
Yeah, I agree
and I
with
think,
you.
or I think they would have rather, and because I think also it would have really have stopped anything if she came out and said more than if Bad Wolf came out. So I think they would have thought that and would have thought, okay, we've planned for this, we'll plan for when the statement goes out, we'll plan for when you can talk, so we can like coordinate all our side basically around that. But the fact that nothing has been said makes me really think, yeah, there's something more here, like you, going on. It's not a simple sort of exercise here. Another reason I've been thinking, like, I can see that she's an unknown. I can see certain like executives not being happy about that, wanting a name basically attached beyond any guest stars possibly in the show to sort of really boost numbers, because that's how they think on that level. They don't think about creative. They just think, oh, we need a name. Yeah, so I can, but another thing I've thought of is that possibly it could be a personality clash with Russell and his team. Not so much of a diva when it came to the work, just purely Russell and his production team, after working with her for one series, were thinking,
Well, she is a bit of a party girl. Could it be because Disney is a kind of a family-friendly brand, as they like to class themselves? And she
I'm
does
not
have a
thinking
bit of a
on.
party lifestyle. She's always putting photographs of herself up with her and her friends out having a good time, drinking away. And look, I'm not criticizing that. I did that at 19. You know, I did that even when I was younger. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm not
Oh yeah,
criticizing the
no,
young one for having a good
I'm
time.
thinking.
But you think that may have been an issue for Disney maybe going forward, where she's
No,
photographed in a compromising, not a compromising position, but in a compromising situation where she's out, maybe something starts and she's photographed, like, and do you think that would have been an issue with Disney?
I don't think they would be that like micromanaged involved. I think they're more like, we know they've given story notes, they've given like notes on scenes. I can see them thinking on, like I said, that executive level to do with name pull. But I'm thinking what my possible other thing is, we know Russell and his crew from 2005, and I can't help but think it's probably worse now. They can be petty. They can be if you're not in our club, you're not in our club. So do you know what I mean? As like purely a personality of them just not
Yeah,
liking her
no, I get you.
because
Maybe
it's
she's not
clear
down with it all as well. Yeah, yeah.
because they clearly adore Shooty. Like you can see that whenever Russell's on the red carpet with him, when he's talking about him, it's very clear they adore him and they're very behind him. But beyond the usual sort of press statements, they've not really bigged Millie up. If you think about it, they've not done the same sort of gushing interviews about her, which I think is a bit odd because if they've done it for Shooty, they should do it for the companion. Surely you've had this woman. So this is what I'm thinking. Could it be just, I said, a personality clash? Because this is also, Eccleston's recently has talked about this, how one of the things that absolutely got him wanting out of that environment, how he phrased it, was personal politics. Not politics like virtue signaling and that stuff, just like in sort, like I said, that sort of thing of being pally with each other or not getting on with each other or being protective of certain people and not protecting others. Like they could, that sort of side of it. And I can't help but think, has that happened with Millie? And that's also why they've not said anything. Because they haven't got, hello, PD, because they haven't got a legit good reason for her to be pushed, set from a petty reason, possibly. So yeah, that's my two penneth.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, looks like he's got stuck. He's done a rabbi. He's done a rabbi, yes. Everyone. He's done a rabbi.
And sorry, folks, you probably heard my family in the background then when I was talking.
Yeah, this is a bit of a tricky one, isn't it, this whole situation? I think it's another Crystal Eccleston situation, knowing how cliquey things get behind the scenes.
That's what I've been thinking about, PD.
Yeah, leopard doesn't change its spots, eh?
Yeah, so do you think she was definitely pushed?
Well, it's the way she's going. I'm going to go straight back to Coronation Street. It almost does make you that feeling, doesn't it?
Yeah, because that's an odd step back. You've said this, haven't you, before?
Yeah, you wouldn't. You go on to something different. I go into pastures new. It's like she'd be leaving to go on to pastures new, or they'd be saying like you do the like Martha Jones or something. Oh, you're only around for a season and get another companion in kind of thing.
Yeah, like it was always planned that way.
But it's the way that Bad Wolf has not released a statement for anything. It's like, well, what do you think's happening? You know, if you don't release anything, everyone's going to assume the worst has happened. And they're just doing this. It's like, what is wrong with them? It's like when
and weirdly, one of the few things they have kept lots of updates about has been casting. That's been the one thing they've actually been telling us about.
Oh yeah, Russell's been spewing that out. Oh, we got a gay actor for this. We got a trans actor for that. Got a bi. We've got a drag queen for this one. It's like, oh god, Russell. It's like, yeah, we know, mate. We know you're gay, Russell. It's fine. We know you're gay. Kind of attitude. And it's like the second Millie leaves. Oh, we're not mentioning it. They're not even mentioning about Shooty leaving after the second season.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Yeah, that could be speculation, but he did kind of say it though.
Oh, nobody's judging her in the terms of of the show, because you're right. We haven't seen her in action. We've only seen her in one story.
Yeah.
But we're not actually talking about that. We're talking about her attitude behind the scenes, and we're also talking about why the possible reasons of why she was definitely sacked. I mean, for the Mirror to double down on that headline and to come out again and repeat, and the fact that Charlotte has actually made the best point here so far. If she left of her own accord, she would have put out a statement by now, because they would have allowed her to put out a statement so she could control the narrative. The fact that she hasn't put out a statement,
them look good by basically having her come out.
Nobody's talking about. What gets me is we've barely seen her in action to judge if she's at fault. Nobody is judging her acting ability or anything like that. She's after being released from the show, or axed from the show, whatever you want to call it, and that's what we're discussing. And I think it's important to discuss that. And I think 3 possible scenarios of why I think it could be. Queen Charlotte believes she's pushed. If I was to put a bet on it, I would go with Queen Charlotte on that. I'd put a tenner on it.
It's the radio silence, no.
What's happened?
Radio silence.
But it doesn't matter what she does in the show now, because we know she's going to be gone. So whether she was good or bad is irrelevant, because fans will know that she's leaving. So this is another reason. Our character is now not going to have any sort of impact, because we know she's leaving at the end of it. So people are not going to get attached to Ruby Sunday, right? Like they have with other companions. And that's why I'm pissed off about this, because Millie deserved a chance. And that's what I said. She may not have done it for me in the Christmas episode, but I was looking forward to seeing what she was going to do for the next series. But now, what's the point of even liking her when I know she's off? She's gone like the wind.
And what I mean? It will impact if she's got possibly a tragic or sort of sad end, because if you think about Rose, if you think about Donna in series 4, if you think about those sort of moments that are big emotional beats of companions leaving, we didn't know that was going to happen. We had no idea that those episodes were going to end. If we would have known about Donna's fate before it happened, for example, do you think that scene would have got so much of the fan base absolutely sobbing?
No.
Because we weren't expecting him to do that, basically, to a companion. To sort of have that harshness of an ending.
Yeah.
Sort of was almost out of field for Russell. At that
sure,
point.
Look at it. He felt so bad about it that he's come back.
He reversed it,
And he reversed it because it did have such an impact on the fandom, which I think lessens it now, in my opinion. I get it. I've always wanted him to fix it myself. But now that he has, the old saying, be careful what you wish for.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't like the resolution now. I don't like it. I mean, but you are right. If we had, that wouldn't have had the impact that it had if everybody knew, because that was kept under wraps. Under wraps.
So, and we know, like I said, the report is she's going to have some episodes in series 2 of Shooties, but the bulk of her story is going to be in series 1.
Yeah.
So, and Russell, like I said, I can guarantee the finale will have something that will be the indicator as to why she's not around a lot the next series.
Well, Millie has indicated herself she's being very keen to actually tell us that that there's loads of twists in this season coming up, and there's a big twist at the end of the season. And I was like, oh, the fact that you're leaving, I mean, that's not much of a big fucking twist. Like, if
Yeah.
that's what it is, if it's Peter Capaldi returning, well, I didn't see that coming, and bring it on. But like, that's not going to happen. I never get what I want.
Oh,
Um,
no.
but look, I tried to show you notice that I actually clapped out there. So this is what I attempted to do. I attempted to show you the actual photographs of Millie with her mother looking very downcast and depressed as Bobby D said there in the chat just a second ago. But the computer completely crashed. So I can't share the photographs. So I've got the camera off for just a second. I just need everything to settle down again. But I bloody hate it. I can't even share fucking photos, man. Like yesterday, I could share videos and photos when I was doing it on X. I did a stream on X, just on X. Wasn't talking about Doctor Who.
It's the
Talking about
software,
politics.
mate.
So
Software.
don't worry, you didn't miss out on that because I know most of you hate fucking politics. But I was there ranting and raving on X anyway. And everything was working fine. Well, except for one of the videos wouldn't work. But we've been doing well. I cleared the computer out. Seems to be acting a little bit better. But I actually think what it is, believe it or not, and I don't want to say that to the missus because if I do, she's going to hit me across the head with it. But I think the mic that she got is not the computer. So, anyway.
But
Anyway, yeah.
I can see why if she is. I've not seen these photos, but like you said, she's sort of been the topic for months now of speculation and stories and fans talking, and she's just had to sit there
But
and
you can't
not
say
do
that.
anything.
That's the thing. That is
Yeah.
the thing, man. And that's what would it would kill me as well if I was working on the show and then they told me I wasn't working on the show anymore, but I couldn't fucking say that. Like I'd be chomping at the
Yeah.
bit to open my mouth, especially when you see the media reporting, oh, she was a diva, or she was this, that, and the other, and she was giving out about this, and as I said, when I brought her up, right? I just reminded everybody that Billy Piper did the same thing. So if anybody thinks I'm coming after Millie Gibson, I am not. As I said, if she did find it too much, I totally fucking understand and
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
support her because she's 19 years of fucking age. Like, do you know what I mean? 19-year-olds don't want to be working at night time. They want to be out and enjoying themselves. So I can understand it was a little bit different when Billy Piper came along. And the reason why the Billy Piper situation is different and why people that are trying to compare the two years are absolutely stupid. And I'll tell you why. Right? Here's the simple reason why it was different. Billie Piper was a pop star before she actually came
Yep.
to Doctor Who. Right? She was in the music industry since she was what 14 years of age. She had her first hit at what was it, 16 or something, right? Billie Piper was used to the spotlight. Billie Piper was used to traveling all over the UK and wherever else she was famous in. I don't know what other country she was famous in, but I know she was absolutely loved in the UK, or any that our singles came out at the time, everybody was lapping them up. I do remember that. And then she
Yeah.
gave up the music industry because body shamed her, right? She even talks about it. So the thing about Millie Gibson and Billie Piper is that Billie Piper went through a lot more than what Millie Gibson did. So to compare the two is absolutely ridiculous, right? Absolutely ridiculous. Billie Piper had the experience behind her. Millie Gibson has hardly any experience. Remember, she
Yeah.
works for Coronation Street, right? She did. That was the level of her fucking career, right?
One
She
above
did.
Hollyoaks.
You hardly do night shoots there, or if you do night shoots there, it's early at night time. It's not in the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the fucking morning, right? Like it is with Doctor Who. They'll be filming up to 5 in the morning sometimes, right? So I get it from that point of view if she left. If she was pushed because they wanted someone that was known in there, then I kind of get it as well. I do get that. But if she was pushed because they wanted to get another person of colour in the TARDIS, well then, that's cynical, and then I'd actually go crazy about that. You made such a big deal of Millie Gibson, and then just toss her away like yesterday's trash. No,
Yeah. Disgusting.
nah,
Really.
she deserves better than that if that's the case. But I've given 3 scenarios, right, that I believe could be a possible reason of why she left. So I don't want anybody out there, especially from the other side, saying, oh, no, is saying she was pushed because of diversity and inclusion. I'm not saying that. I'm giving 3 possible scenarios. This is how I'm doing it now. I'm giving 3 possible scenarios. You could choose which one. We'll find out anyway, won't we?
Yeah,
Guys?
well, no. You're probably saying that because there's been no press release.
Well, of course.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? If we had a press release from the fucking people that are supposed to be in charge,
When
telling us what's
we got
going
one
on.
with Eccleston before he regenerated, didn't we? Turned around saying
Yeah,
he's leaving the show because of things being typecast, which was absolute crap. We all know that now. But there's not even a press release saying, "Oh, she's going a different direction" or something like that. Like they normally do.
Like
And
even something full of like you said,
Yeah.
nonsense, like words just to sort of fill out a statement.
The poor girl's probably been slapped with NDA not to talk until like after a contract anyway as well. So that's what they do as well. That's probably why she can't talk.
Well, no, she's not under contract though, because she let the cat out of the bag anyway with a recent interview that she did.
Oh, okay.
She said that she could audition for roles, and you can only audition for roles if you're not under contract.
She's not under exclusivity deal. Then she can audition for other things.
Exactly.
She still have something that's stopping her from talking. It could
probably still
let her to go to other roles.
Or again, another reason, just want to be fair here, another reason could be is that Coronation Street ITV have a big storyline for her and would like her to come back because maybe her character is very popular on Coronation Street. I don't know because I haven't watched it in decades. I've got to be honest. I peek in now and then just to see how it's doing, like with EastEnders, but I regret putting EastEnders on. Never do that again. Well done, BBC, for doing an absolutely brilliant fucking soap that you've had for fucking decades. I mean, I don't know what the fuck you've done with it now. But, could be that. Could be, remember, because we got to be fair here. Friedman also left. She left after season 3 and she did a bit part in season at the end of season 3, but she came back then for a bit part in season 4. So it has happened before, but not the way this has happened though. This is just
suspicious.
There's definitely something going on. Listen, when those reports came out last year, and the media was already turning on her about her apparent attitude, I sometimes those stories are not just put out by accident. Is all I will say.
No.
Sometimes those stories are leaked to the press in advance to a decision that they're going to make. So I reckon this is when I reckon she was gone, right? And this is just me because of the stuff that I used to do. So I'm putting everything together, right? But for me, looking at the week those articles came out was probably the week that the media were basically informed and told to run with this story. And I reckon that's when the decision was made to get rid of Millie Gibson.
Yeah. So you think
now, for whatever reason, that's up to you all to decide, and that's what we're here for. We're trying to figure out why we think why she's gone. But there's definitely I when early day I was doing all of this, I just think back to the way things are done, the way they announced Jodie Whittaker leaving as well, the lead up to that when everybody was calling me a liar, I knew it was happening, and the stories that were coming out about her. Remember, there were loads of stories then coming out of the woodwork before it was announced that Jodie Whittaker was leaving, including the Chaos and Cardiff stuff and all that. Remember that Chris Chibnall walking off set, Jodie Whittaker not being happy with scripts and all of this. We heard all of this nonsense. And then she was gone, right? Then she was gone. Same thing is happening here. It's just happening to Millie, and it's kind of gone a little bit under the radar. Well, it was until the mirror broke it, and then there was no statement by Bad Wolf Studios or even
Yeah, they
RTD.
go.
Even RTD, who's the mouty little twat that he is
Oh yeah,
on Instagram, has stayed silent.
yeah. I know it's weird, isn't it? No, I mean, yeah, there could be an NDA in place, but you know,
She's gone.
it,
She is
yeah,
gone. And
yeah, it's almost Disney.
what? I'll say this. As I
Yeah.
said, she didn't really light me fire in the first episode, but I was, as I said, I was giving Shooties 4 seasons ago, and Millie would have got the same time and respect that I gave every other companion, because you don't warm to companions straight away. There were some that I
No,
warmed to faster than others, but I'm still willing to give that girl a chance to prove to us what she got. And now there's no point. There's no point in me even egging her on now, because I know she's gone. And it's, I have to say, if it's for the reasons, the cynical reasons that we might think they are, well then that's bang out of order. And I think Doctor Who fans should really start questioning the showrunner and the decisions that are
yeah,
being made. I'm not saying that your woman is not going to be great that's come in. She's probably going to be wonderful and brilliant and all of that. But to replace Millie as cynically, because that's what it would be, to replace her cynically as they have, I'm sorry, that can't wash with Doctor Who fans, or
no,
that can't settle well with Doctor Who fans. Come on.
no, not
But
at
you
all.
will probably be okay with it because she's just a white chick, isn't she? And, white people are bad nowadays, so you'd probably be okay about it.
Yeah,
But I can guarantee you, if it was Shooty being replaced by a white person, you'd be absolutely fucking all over it. You
yeah.
would be all over it. You would be complaining, oh, this is not fair. He's got rid of Shooty because he's black. All of this crap you would be given, right? But it seems to be okay. And I'll say it out straight here, because you know me, I'm a straight shooter. I don't hide that. And it seems to be okay to treat white people like trash nowadays. And, it seems to be okay to throw them out of their job, or to make sure that their career goes down a different route because you want to be diverse.
Oh,
Fuck
did
off.
you hear about Amazon and diversity at the moment? They want to go on the Netflix route, not the Disney route anymore, and just make one or two really DI centric shows and just make everything else normal.
The industry is finally wising up.
Yeah,
The industry has worked out that of course, if somebody's the best for the role, they can be from any race, any
yeah,
relatively, unless it's ridiculous historically.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
if
you both say that, and then they release a movie called Madam Web, and
That
and
was Sony.
no, but
listen,
no,
listen. They're saying all these words Hollywood is, right? When they start showing me that they're actually doing it, because right now all of the projects that they have slated are the same old bullshit. So how long do we have to wait? How long are we
Probably
gonna have to
2 years.
wait as a
2 years because of the
consumer? Are we
strike.
gonna wait a year or two? Because it's gonna take a year or two for it to feed down to us. That's too long. That'll be another 2 years onto the 11, 12 years that we've had already. The industry should just cancel all the movies that they have coming up, right? Because they're going to be box office flops
Can't afford
anyway,
it.
and just start again. I mean, Deadpool 3, right? That trailer came out. It's not the greatest trailer in the world, right? I'll say that, but it gave us enough to tell us that that movie is going to be actually a decent movie. And
Yeah.
I love the fact that Ryan Reynolds looks at the camera and takes the piss out of Disney and says, "I'm going to save
Yeah.
your little multiverse." I love it. If Disney embraces this, takes the piss out of themselves, and this movie, see, this is the thing. Remember what Deadpool 1 did, right? Nobody
Yeah.
expected that movie to do well, and it fucking did brilliant. Second one is shy, and I'll still stand by that. There are a couple of great moments in that movie, but that second one was absolute dog
Oh,
shit, and I'll
boring.
stand by that. The extended version is a little bit better, I will say, but it's still dog shit. So for me, I was owed the third movie, right, by Ryan Reynolds, because I've heard all of the stuff and I've read all of the stuff that happened during the second director. The director of the first one was sacked because creative differences and all of that, blah blah blah. He wanted to make a similar movie to the first one, not up the ante like they did in the second movie. He just wanted to keep making Deadpool movies that way. And I thought, you know what, that wouldn't have been a bad idea. But Ryan wanted to kind of elevate it. And we seen what happened then. The movie had like 3 or 4 good scenes in it, and the rest was shite. So he owes me a third one. But if this movie does do what it says it's going to do, or Ryan, I hope he's not just taking the piss. But if this movie could somehow resurrect the whole fucking flop that is fucking the universe, then I'm all for it. But
The problem is, no,
it's
stuff
too late.
coming out now would have been greenlit 3 or 4 years ago, would have
I
been
know.
made. So just the way the industry is, yes, I agree with you. A lot of the time they do just talk. But the thing is, you're seeing so many parts of the industry now basically saying, we need to go back to what actually works. We need to actually suit audiences that were already there, not to chase away.
But that's the thing. I'm just going to say, it wasn't fucking rocket science, Bob. You know what I mean? It wasn't rocket science, Alex Kurtzman. You know what I mean? Kathleen Kennedy, it's not rocket science. You know, you give the audience what they fucking want. They will put bums in the fucking seats. Will make money. It's not that hard. I told you this was a simple fix anyway, but I'm just going to say something. I know Charlotte and others are optimistic that, you know, Hollywood will turn a corner maybe, or they'll start doing the right thing. But I'm just going to say now it's too fucking late. Let the industry burn. It's too late. They've went on this for nearly 12 to 15 fucking years. We've had enough of it. And now they've decided after all that time, after losing billions, hundreds of billions, each studio, now you have decided to cop on.
A bit slow.
After calling fans, but hold on, I'm not finished. Just one more thing. Right? This is why we shouldn't forgive them as quick as, you know, just want to make sure that everybody realizes that these are the same motherfuckers, right? That told us we were racists, we were bigots, we weren't fans, right? To say the people that buy their fucking stupid merchandise and everything that goes with their fucking franchises. Remember that. This is not, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to easily forgive these motherfuckers just because they do a good movie here and a good movie there, or they change the whole thing. It's going to take years for them to fucking pay back all the abuse that we took and all the fucking hit pieces and articles out there, right? Same with RTD. If he thinks he's coming in here, his name and the brand is going to, is because of all of that, it's going to be successful. Well, you want to wake the fuck up, because I'm going to tell you now, your name doesn't hold much weight anymore, right? Believe it or not. I know you have a big, massive fucking ego on you, but your name doesn't hold weight in Doctor Who fandom anymore. Not because of the last 5 or 6 years we had. The Doctor Who brand doesn't have the weight that it used to have anymore. Oh, no. So if you're relying on that success, because another thing that fans have given out about, and I'll say it out straight, the lack of advertisement for Shooty's era. Oh, God, I mean, for Disney saying at the time, oh, we're not throwing any money into the specials because all of the money is going to be thrown into Shooty's era, and we're going to really push this hard. I've seen nothing. We've got one stupid fucking so-called teaser trailer that gives us absolutely nothing. Yous have pumped money into this. Now we're hearing that yous have had to fix up the old special effects or something or whatever. Right, so already it tells me you're incompetent and you are going to absolutely massively drag this show through the mud again. The bottom line is that RTD, your name, is not going to get you anywhere. You now have to show us, right, your level of writing, your ability, because I'm telling you now, you're not going to blag your way out of this one like Chibs tried to do, right? The name doesn't hold much weight. You can forget about Doctor Who brand. The Doctor Who brand is in tatters right now. Your job is to piece it all back together again and try get it back to some sort of normality, right? The ratings will come after if you start producing good story after good story after good story, but you have to be on your A game every fucking week. You cannot have a bad episode, right? this upcoming season. I'm gonna say outright, he can't have a bad episode. He's got less episodes, and every single one of them will have to hit the mark.
Yeah.
Right? One goes astray, that's it. It's done. I don't think he realizes how fragile this fandom is. This has to be top notch, and coming out with the shite. So, and by the way, just one more thing. I know you're going to say something. I've been dying to get this all off my chest, right? But yesterday I found out something, right? And we criticised Chris Chibnall for this. And I'm going to do the same with RTD, right? What the fuck are you doing hiring people that you know through fucking acquaintances or whatever, right? Suze Kempner did not get her job as Doom on fucking merit. Jinx Monsoon did not get their job on fucking merit. It's because you knew the fucking husband or whatever the fucking shite. You're not even doing castings. She's even admitted that she didn't even have to audition for the fucking role. And I can assume that Jinx Monsoon was the fucking saying, you took a look at Jinx and thought, oh yeah, she'd make a good villain because she's weird looking. Right? Without putting any thought into it. Right? You're hiring all these gobshites, right? They're not even qualified. Right? They're not even at the top of their game in the industry, and you're bringing them in. And you signed off on Doomsday as well. Apparently he did sign off on Doomsday. You signed off on that pile of shite. You signed off on that activist and the disgusting comments that she came out with. And the same with Jinx Monsoon, talking about how someone left a condom up inside them and all of this shit. Right? These are the kind of degenerates you're hiring. Right? All your pals. Right? This show was accused of being a fucking club.
A cult.
And we used to defend to say, no, it's not a little boys club, it's not a club. Well, it does seem to be the RTD fucking club, doesn't it? Everybody that's down with the message will get a job with RTD. But what about the people that are actually qualified to get the fucking work? What about those people? They being left on the scrap heap? And this is another reason why everybody should go into this season with fucking very low expectation. I swear, do not do it to yourselves. Do not, even if a trailer, do not do it to yourselves. Do not get hyped about this. Go in with low expectations, because I swear he's going to break his hearts. He's got to fucking absolutely destroy everything that you love about this show. I can feel it. He's going to be worse than Chris Chibnall. He is. It's. You could see it. I'm going to stop now before I actually drop dead, because I'm going red in the face here. I wish you could see me right now. But I'm literally boiling here. This man is not going to look after this show. He's using it. As someone said yesterday, right? And this is true. RTD in 2005 created Doctor Who because he was a fan, because he loved the show. RTD coming back in 2023 is an angry RTD, and he's angry with the world. So he's using Doctor Who as the platform to shout back at the world because he's angry with the world. And you know what? That's sad. It is actually sad that he feels that way. But I would implore you, RTD, do not use Doctor Who because you're angry with the world. If you're angry with the world, express yourself in another way. But please do not use the longest running sci-fi show on the planet as your platform to push this message, because you will ultimately destroy the show, and it was nearly destroyed by Chris Chibnall. You were to come back to save this show. We were told it was a rescue mission.
What did I say to that? It was Apocalypse Now. It was never a rescue mission.
Jesus Christ, man. We're not even asking for much. I'm not even asking. I'm just asking for you to respect what we love. Respect what you loved. And I get it. Life hasn't been great to you. We know of your personal problems and your personal strifes. and everybody fucking rallied behind you and supported you. And we do. But I know you're angry with the world, but you're using the wrong thing to get to express yourself. You really are. You really are. There's other ways of you expressing yourself. You're a writer, for goddamn sake. You could write something else that's completely away from Doctor Who to express your anger about the world. And we know the world isn't a great place, but the world that you want is neither
Well,
an
my heaven
utopian,
is your hell.
either, right? It's neither an utopian either, okay? Because in your world, people like me are silenced for having opinions. People like me are shut down for saying, "Hey, that's wrong. You should hire the best people and the best this, that, and the other," and you're called names. You're vilified. You're cancelled,
Exactly.
right? And that's what's probably happened poor Millie Gibson. If if I was to be cynical about it, maybe she wasn't down with everything that was going on behind the scene. Maybe they thought she was a liability and said, "You know what, we'll just get rid of her. It'll be easier to just out the door."
Come out in time. That last one.
Anyway, I said I've gotten it all off my chest, but I just ask you all, just go in with low expectations. Don't expect the best, because you'll only be setting yourself up again. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope all of this from RTD, all of this nonsense that he's been coming out with is all smoke and mirrors, and he actually does give us some of the best Doctor Who that we've seen in a long time. But I'm going to tell you right now, the chances of that was to give a percentage right now is zero. And I'm actually being over dramatic here. I do not think he's going to deliver. And I was told and sold the lie that he was going to deliver. So to you two people that sold me that lie, I just want to say one thing to you two people especially, is fuck you for lying to me, and then for me then to come on here and tell all of these people here, these good people here, that it was a rescue mission. Unbelievable.
What a
Unbelievable.
disaster.
I knew
Yeah.
you sold out as soon as you blocked me and all of that. But Jesus Christ Almighty, if you knew this all along, I tell you, what a pair of cunts. Sorry, I'll probably get demonetized for that, but I don't care. They lied to me, and I am absolutely angry and bitter. That man's not going to deliver. He's not going to safeguard that show for us. He's going to absolutely destroy it. And you know what? If it goes that way during season one, I will bail out after season one. I'm not going to put myself through that. Do you know what we'll do? I will figure out something to do with this channel, and if people stay with me, they stay with me. If they don't, then that's fine, fair enough. But I'm not going to put myself through 2 years of emotional turmoil watching shy. Right? I'll take one season of it, and if it's not good enough after one season, I'm going to do what a lot of fans are going to do anyway, and I'm going to bail. It's done, right? The kids will be right. Doctor Who is not for me anymore. It'll be in name only. The show is only in name only. Let them have it. Let the bastards ruin it. Soon enough, then BBC, Disney will realise that they fucked up, and then they'll have to shelve the show. And then these little degenerates that have infested their fandom then will move on to the next fucking franchise, like the bunch of locusts, fucking lowlives that they all are, right? And that's what they are. And just one more thing as well. Mr. Teabag, by the way, was off again. He tried to cancel Matt Smith. So listen up, you little moron.
Why did he go after Matt?
He went after Matt Smith. So, listen up, you little moron, right? I know why you're doing what you're doing. No, hang on. Let me say this, and then you could jump in. I know why you're doing what you're doing, right? Your channel is absolutely failing, and you're a failure in life, right? So this is why you're doing your little hit pieces, and now you've decided to go after one of the most popular doctors, right? Let me just tell you now, Matt Smith is uncancelable. You will not cancel that man, right? So whatever's gotten into your sick little lefty infested brain, I suggest that you keep your thoughts and opinions to yourself, and you leave Matt Smith the fuck alone. he is a fucking legend, and he's done more. His little finger has done more than you've done in your whole little pathetic life. So-called fucking writer that never got a fucking job. Mind your own business,
Right, come
right?
runner.
And stop criticizing everybody because you don't. Do you know what you're coming across? How old are you? You're coming across as a bitter old fucking man. I thought I was bitter and old, but you definitely take the fucking biscuit with your nonsense, right? Matt Smith, right? I'll give this fella one thing, right? Matt Smith, for me, even throughout the Jodie Whittaker era, was the only fucking one that had the guts to fucking open his mouth. Actually, no, I'm wrong. Billy Piper too,
Yeah,
because
William,
himself and Billy Piper did that little video. They even questioned why Doctor Who was on New Year's Day and all, and he had a bit of a giggle and a laugh about it. And we loved it at that time because we knew for a fact that all the people that worked on that show previously didn't like the current era that was running at the time, right? And you were all saying, "Ah, no, they all love it." No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I can fucking tell you, none of them liked it, right? They all had to just come out and say their piece because BBC demanded it, if they wanted more work, all of that. It's very easy to get these people to sing to your fucking tune when they're looking for work, okay? So Matt Smith is not going to bow down, right? Because then people say, oh, he's going to ruin a sequel for me and all of this, and the fans start getting really nasty thanks to Mr. Teabag. Because Mr. Teabag is a lowlife and has nothing better to do with his time because he's a failed writer. I mean, he spends more time ranting and raving about other people. You want to be careful about your marriage, mate, because if you keep doing that, then neglecting your wife, she's going to end up fucking leaving you because you seem to be more focused on me, Ballstreck, Neurotic, or any other fucking, any other person. I was going to say gobshite. We are probably gobshites, but who gives a fuck? Any other fucking person you don't agree with, you're obsessed. And now you've got a new obsession with this other YouTube channel. He's going to take it apart. And then when you realize then you've lost, you go on to your next target because you're a pathetic little man. Get over yourself, right? It's about time that the subscribers of him start calling him out, right? He's a subscribe to his channel because he was supposed to be a review channel, right? So why don't you demand the subscribers that he sticks to what he fucking says that he is, which is a reviewer? Because he's doing hit pieces on people and he's unnecessarily calling out people because he doesn't like their opinion. And it seems like even if you're a doctor, this man is going to come after you. And he's only doing it for clout. And that's the sad thing. I could see through his little rules.
Well,
and a lot of us in the fandom can.
Also, I've just thought there's a pattern here. Think about that fake post of Capaldi saying that if you think Doctor Who's woke, you're not a fan. Yeah. Now he's going after Matt. It seems to be that there's a campaign against certain modern doctors now. Not Tennant, because he's in with the crowd. They all love him. But Eccleston, do not be surprised if Eccleston gets something now, because it just seems to be a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just going to say this, though. Okay, you went after Matt Smith. Matt Smith probably won't react in any way anyway.
Oh, Matt Smith won't give two flying monkeys.
And a lot of people were saying, let's hope he doesn't bow down to the mob and apologise. I don't think he will. I don't think he gives two fucks anyway. But I will say this. I would love to see Mr. TARDIS go after Christopher Eccleston. Because I could tell you now, right, Eccleston would end his career or whatever fucking career he has in 2 minutes, in 2 seconds, right? The bottom line is that this scumbag will use anybody to either further his agenda or attack when he has a point to make, right? And I'm upset. And listen, you may not like the comments that Matt Smith made, right? But he's entitled to make them. He's not hurting you. And he's not hurting anybody because it's just an opinion. But we live in a society today where you cry babies. Even if someone says boo to you, you're a crying victim. I'm a victim.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely. Seriously, man. You want to give it over, right?
Yes,
Rinda Kaur does that
because
all the
it's
time.
yes, especially as
I
the
wasn't
main
even
thing
going to bring it up, but I went on a bit of a rant and I said, you know what, I will bring it up. You need to leave it out. You're a grown ass man now, right? The bottom line is, we get it, right? We get it. You're a lefty, right? Which means then you're intolerant to everybody's opinion
Yeah, they
and you
are.
don't like listening to facts. We get it. But it's time to let go, mate. It's time to let go. Sometimes you've got to grow up and fly from the nest. And that's what you need to do. You need to figure out what you really need to do with your life. Because for me, it looks like you're stagnating. And in your anger and frustration, you're taking out on other people. If you really were gifted and talented, like you say you were, you wouldn't be unemployed and doing YouTube, right? I'm actually not saying that I'm talented or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, I chose to do this. I'm pretty sure you didn't choose to do this. I'm pretty sure you had your ambitions, as you said, to be a writer. In fairness, I've never actually seen that that you've written or watched that you've written.
I don't think anyone wants
So,
to.
some career. So, I could take the piss out of you and take you down a peg or two, right? See how easy that is. I could easily come on every day of the week and talk about you because you're a great topic. You get so much content, but I can't be asked. But every so often I'll bring you up because you do. Paths do cross.
Oh, actually, you bring him up because
But,
he brings you up all the time. There you go.
but the
Reason.
thing about it is, if you're gonna start attacking doctors that we all love, then I'm sorry, but that's not going to fly in this fucking fandom, and that's the problem.
I can say as a massive Matt fan and a massive 11th Doctor fan, the fan base for Matt and his Doctor has only grown throughout the years. It's just gotten more and more bigger as more people watched back what he was doing in his run. The fact that he's never come back, so he's sort of this elusive figure almost for that.
So that's why he was upset. Bobby. That's the extent. That's why he was upset. That's why he's tried to bring down Matt Smith. So Matt Smith is against trigger warnings. Now, as a lefty like Mr. TARDIS is, he's all for trigger warnings, right? Because his poor little heart can't take it when he's watching a Tom and Jerry cartoon. It might have some references to some things that happened in the past, and he'd need a trigger warning on that because he's so soft and weak that he needs trigger warnings on everything. So Matt Smith, because he's a proper bloke, which he is, he's a proper man's man, right? He's against trigger warnings, right? And he thinks trigger warnings are stupid. And anybody that likes trigger warnings, he didn't say this, but I'm adding this, I think are stupid. So, I'm with Matt Smith on this. Trigger warnings are absolutely ridiculous. The bottom line is this with trigger warnings, and this is what I'll say. You don't have to watch these fucking things. We grew up watching them. If you choose not to watch them, that's fine. But why should we have to put trigger warnings on shit that we watched? Because all you guys are too weak and fucking too stupid to understand. You don't have to watch. It's as simple as that. If you don't like a song, what do? You turn it off. You don't say, oh, I think that song should be a trigger warning because it talks about a topic and a subject I don't like.
No.
Right? Yeah.
I quite like trigger warnings. You know why?
Why?
Because they show I'm watching the nice quality entertainment.
Yeah, it's like a precursor to I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah, if it's terrible, I'll watch it.
Sky Movies. Look, Sky Movies were doing it in the late 90s and early. Remember when they had their movie channels, right? The proper movie channels where you had about 40 fucking movie channels. But every time there was a movie on, they would say, this movie is rated such and such. There's certain scenes of violence and sex and all of that, right? We grew up with that, but the trigger warnings that they want are like, well, this has references to Nazi Germany and Auschwitz, and if you're offended by this, you shouldn't watch it. And I'm like, well, the film is called Schindler's fucking List. Of course it's about the Nazis. Do you know what I mean? That's the point. That's what I'm getting. Like, it's the same with Fast and the Furious. Do you know what I mean? What do you think you're going to watch when you go in to watch that fucking movie? You're not going to watch, like, a movie about fucking two donkeys fucking walking through the fucking desert, drinking, looking for water, right? It's a movie about cars and sexy chicks and fucking blokes with muscles. Hell yeah. Oh, I'm upsetting the dog. I'm upsetting the both of you. I'm going to calm down now. I know, but I'm on a bit of a roll right now. I know, but I'm on a bit of a roll. Me face, fix me face. I'll go in there and rearrange yours.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
Now, by the way, I'm not advocating violence at all. This is a running little thing that me and Cheryl have had the last couple of weeks where she'll say something about me face. And I called her face a jigsaw one time and I said I'd rearrange her face like a jigsaw. So, like, just in case anybody is thinking that I have Cheryl locked in a cage somewhere, you're absolutely fucking right. And if you don't be careful, you'll end up in the same place too. I'm only messing. Anyway, no, but getting back to it, look, all joking aside. Listen, trigger warnings are stupid. It's just the bottom line. But the fact that Matt Smith, right, it doesn't matter where you are on trigger warnings, right? The bottom line is for Mr. Teabag to get upset about that, and then to write some load of shite up about the fact why he's upset about it, and then he didn't think. Well, he knows what he's doing because everybody on the panel knows what he does. When he tweets these things, he knows he's going to get a reaction. You see, that's exactly what he wants. He pretends he doesn't want the reaction, and then he brags about, "Oh, this tweet is getting a bit of traction," and then he'll try and explain his bullshit, right? He knows exactly what he's doing, but he's not going to be able to cancel Matt Smith. And remember, this guy has openly been hostile towards John Barrowman and Noel Clark, who has never been charged by the police on any allegation that he was accused of in a newspaper article. Remember, the cops even said that he didn't have anything to answer for, and there was never any investigation done because none of these people that had accused them of anything had bothered gone to the fucking police. They decided to go to the media instead. So remember, this man has previously. He also went after Sophia Miles as well.
Oh, God,
remember recently when she was turning up at what I think it was a Who event, and he had a bit of a problem because of her opinions and her defense of Noel Clark. So he kicked his toys out of the as he did, and he put up his tweets. And then, of course, then this whole campaign of trying to get her removed, they all went onto that site then to try and have her removed from this event because of the tweet that he had originally thrown up. And then he does his usual bullshit, as you know, guys. When I call him out and say, you know exactly what you were doing by tweeting that, right? Because I know his game. That's why he has me blocked from day one. I got blocked literally as soon as we had I think it was 3 interactions altogether. And after the third one, he blocked me because he knew he'd never get anywhere with me. I had him sussed from day fucking one. And it's why he has me blocked. And it's why he won't debate me. Because as you know, we've invited him on here loads of times and he keeps making excuses. Then people have asked him to bring me onto his channel. He said, oh, he'll get me channel taken down because he'll say something to deliberately take it down. And as I said, I'll say it again. No, I wouldn't, Mr. Teabag, because I would love the opportunity to come on and make a show you in front of your own subscribers. And then at the same time, single-handedly rob all your subscribers and tell them that they're following the wrong bloke, that they should be actually following me. Right? That's what I would do to you. Right? But PD wants to share something, so I'm going to stick it up
if
on
your PC
screen.
can handle it. Yeah. Yep, there's a trigger warning for you, for aliens.
Right, trigger warning. Let's see what this trigger. Oh, I'm getting a bit of a headache now. I maybe shouldn't have screamed that much now. Hold on, I want to remove this comment.
There you go.
You should be able to see it there. Yeah. So this film has. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. This film has outdated attitudes, language, and cultural depictions, which may cause offense today. Well, if that causes you offense, you're a fucking dope. and you need to get your head examined because that's what it was like back in the day. So if you cannot get over the fact that we were different back in the past, then I suggest you go back to the past and get fucking educated on the past.
Exactly my point. Oh, yeah. You need counselling.
In fairness, looking at that movie, the trigger warning is right? Especially when the lads are given what's her face, some stick. What's her name?
The one woman basically in the
Yeah, the
group.
butch looking one. What's her name again? Vasquez, right? When they're giving Vasquez, yeah, but she gave it back to them, and that was the thing. So I don't get this shit.
Yeah.
Will you just leave it? Listen, you need to leave it out. You need to get your head examined, right? The past is the past, right? Do you know what? For people that want us to move forward, you are so fucking hung up on that past. Oh, but just we're all bad in the past and you have to pay for it now. No, we don't. Because we moved on as a society.
Yeah, we
you fucking morons. That was 1986.
Exactly my point.
By the way, 1986, a female lead. She was also the lead in the Force movie, which was in the 70s, wasn't it? 79, was it? 78? 70 something, whatever. Right? Hey, no female leads back then either, apparently. I wonder what the one for Shawshank Redemption is. I can imagine that one. The trigger warning for Shawshank. I see Shawshank Redemption there in the picture that you've put up there. I can imagine what the trigger warning is on Shawshank Redemption. Seriously, man. They just got outdated stereotypes from the 1950s. Even though it's set in the 1950s and we're all a bunch of morons and we can't understand the past is the past.
And do you know what the trigger is about them? All the trigger is because Vasquez is played by Janet Goldstein, who is Israeli. That's what it's about.
I don't give a fuck where you're from. She was a great character in that movie. She's a great character in that movie, man. And here, she's one of the most memorable fucking characters in the movie. The line that she has with our buddy, it's the most referenced fucking line, one of the most referenced line in the movie, along with your man, where he goes, where he says, where when the fucking dropship crashes, and he goes, "It's game over, man. It's game over." Yep. Right? Like, it just got so many, and it contains voice. Oh man. What? Geez, what? See, even when they make action movies, they have there's no blood anymore. It's just kicking and slapping, and it's fake kicking and slapping, and you can tell that it's fake kicking and slapping. Do you remember when you watched movies back in the day? There was blood coming out of their mouths and everything. Like it was proper violence. There's nothing wrong with violence. We're humans. It's in our nature anyway, right? This is why. See, this is why I think the serial killers and murderers, right? In my opinion, we've tried to suppress those impulses that we have. But if we can express them like in movie form, or you go and you do your paint gun thing, or you go, there's this new thing you could do now. You can go to a scrapyard and the fella will give you a fucking hammer, and you'll say you could take your anger out on all the cars and smash windows up and all of that shit. Yeah. Right? It's in your nature, right? So there should be an outlet for it. I'm not saying go out and murder people. That's what I'm saying. Don't do it the illegal way. But there are legal ways to be able to control your anger and to express it. Do you know what I mean? These people want us to live in some sort of utopian where we're all the same and robots. No emotion. Do you remember that movie with Christian Bale where they wiped out all emotion? Right? And the world was completely stagnated and it was grey and it just looked crap. That's the word they want for it. I guarantee you, man. Yeah. Right? That's their Bible. That movie is their fucking Bible. Oh, the lefties. That's their Bible, man. That movie fucking down to the ground is everything what they want with society, right? No expression, right? No art, no literature, right? None of that, right?
Equilibrium.
And you can see it's happening today, yeah. Great movie, man. That
I
movie
love
is
that
so
film.
underrated. If you haven't fucking seen that movie, check it out. It's underrated. It is. It went under the radar because there were some great other movies out at the time. See, this is the thing. We were spoiled for so much fucking choice that even a movie like this, Christian Bale, went under the radar because there were other big blockbusters out at the time that were just as good. Like, I mean, holy shit, man. Trigger warnings. Yeah. Well, I'm against trigger warnings, Mr. Teabag. So if you want to come and debate, let's debate, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. And you could sit there then and mumbo and jumbo and try to outsmart me and outwit me, and I'll still continue to tell you that you're wrong. And look at that. For a movie that is outdated, has outdated attitudes and cultural depictions and all of that.
Yeah, because they
It,
think the
it,
Xenomorph should
it,
have won. There you go.
it's a 5-star fucking movie.
Oh, it's brilliant.
5-star fucking movie. It's very, very rare that we get a 5-star movie nowadays. I said very rare. I'm not saying that they don't happen, so I don't want people jumping on that. But what I'm saying is it's very rare. But this was the norm for us in the 80s. It was the norm for us in the 90s. And it was the norm for us even in the early 2000s, even though that's when I saw the decline in cinema was the early 2000s. And in fairness to me, you could see it. There was a lot more dependence on CGI and the fancy camera angles. They used to, like Tony Scott. Remember, Tony Scott was known for
Top
making
Gun
very
Tony,
stylish movies, right? But I love Tony Scott movies. But everybody tried to be Tony Scott then.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just, there was a lot of those type of movies out. But Tony Scott was the master of those movies, and his movies with Denzel will never be beaten. Fucking great movies.
Top Gun Tony, yeah.
But everybody asking, saying hello to the missus. By the way, she's doing great. The two of us are. We've both been, as you know, doing this Hello Fresh, and we've both dropped a few sizes and all. Actually, we're looking like the way we were when we got married. So I'm actually kind of chuffed, but I'm still not happy. I still have, like, the belly has completely shrunk down, but I still have a little bit of a one. So I have to do a bit more exercise and stuff like that. But how's Teddy doing? Well, he's been up and down. For the past couple of weeks, he's been fine, but these last couple of days, when we picked him up, it feels like he's sore. But he was like this. As I said, he was like this a couple of months ago. What we think it might be, he might have arthritis, right? And he keeps jumping off stuff, and we don't like him jumping off stuff. And we try to watch him every time, but we don't have eyes in the back of our heads, and and he's jumped down a couple of times, and I think he's tweaked something, and he's hurt himself, and he might, because he's old now. He might have a bit of arthritis as well, and he won't let me pick. He won't let me pick him up, but he'll let Cheryl. But anytime I try to pick him up, he's. It's like as if I hurt him or something, because he'll try bite me. That's not a good sign. But then when Cheryl picks him up, he's fine with her. So it's not, and like, we brought him to the vet before, and they said, he's an old dog now. He's going to start getting, things happening to him now, especially with his history. As you know, we nearly lost him a while back. That's what now, 2 years now, nearly, wasn't it? I think it's 2 years, wasn't it? We nearly lost him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were devastated. So, I mean, it's getting, he's getting to the time in his life now where we just have to wrap him up extra special now, because he's not a spring chicken anymore. But he's eating healthy as well now. We've found this company that's like Hello Fresh, but it's for dogs, and all these meals now are tailored for him. So they're special for his breed, for his age, for his weight, everything. So his food now has been completely transformed now, and is for it's for his age, and but as I said, it suits him. It's tailored for him, so he should. We're already seeing the benefits of it.
That's
Anyway,
good.
let's just say. But yeah. So yeah, we've had to do that. Obviously, there is going to come a time, no matter what we do. He is old, and I have to. But I don't even want to think about that right now. To be quite honest with you, you know how I feel about the dog. I'll have no
Yeah.
shame to say I'll be absolutely devastated, and don't be surprised if you don't see me like when it does happen, because there's no way I'd be able to come on here and I as well. She'll be devastated. See, that's the thing. Two of us in the house will be,
Yes, you'll need
So I
each
can't.
other more than
That's what I
anything.
mean. So I'll just have to. Well, all my focus will have to be try keep her calm, and then I'll just have to mourn in my own time, because Charles lost the dog already, and I know what impact that's had on her. So I mean, this is going to be tough, and I've got to be there for the two of us. And then at the same time, then obviously I'm suffering a loss, but and it's not that that is because it'd be exclusive to Cheryl. It's the way I am. I'll make sure she's okay, and then I'll be able to then take time then, and I will. I've had him, as I said, a long time. It was just me and him before Cheryl came into our lives. So, you know, yeah, don't even want to go there. Even the Goonies movie on Sky has those trigger walk. Get away, the Goonies.
Yeah.
Anyway, I see that I've got private chat, so I've been ignored now. I better go in and have a look just in case anybody's gone. But we're going to go anyway shortly, because I've got stuff to do, as I said. Oh, man. Computer again. Ah, come on. All I did was move to the private chat. I just want to go back to the comments. It's freezing now.
Here,
So
I'll
we.
stop sharing. There you go.
There you go. That might help.
Give you a bit of power back.
Anyway, trigger warning on aliens. You can go and suck it, Sky.
I know. Ridiculous.
But yeah, that's it. Really, I wanted to talk about the Millie thing is interesting anyway, because still no word. I do find it all highly suspicious, and I will say this: when the cat is let out of the bag by the media in the way that it has with the Mirror, I get that there's protocol and stuff like that, and maybe RTD, Disney, they're all following protocol, and Millie has to follow protocol, but as I said, the cat is out of the bag. We've seen the other companion. Just to put Millie out of her misery so she can speak,
Yeah.
I would suggest that RTD, Bad Wolf Studios, Disney, or BBC press office, whoever's in charge of the communication, officially confirm that she's left, and let Millie be interviewed and give the reasons why she's left. Even if people don't believe whatever, or if they do, it's still an explanation. And I think for Millie's mental health, I think it's beneficial. But I also think for fans as well, I think fans have a right to know what's going on, especially when the show has been as chaotic as it has over the last few years. It does not look good for if you were an outsider looking in, let alone being a Doctor Who fan. It's not a good look. And Disney do have a habit of doing this with their TV shows. They'll bring in a certain actor or actress to play a role, and then they quite don't like that person that they brought in, so they'll recast. I don't want Doctor Who to become shows like Disney Plus where they keep
Yeah.
doing that as well. So, I think RTD is the showrunner, and he's the one that says he's responsible for everything. He made that clear. Why you haven't made a statement is beyond me, and I think it's absolutely disgraceful now at this stage. That I mean, I would implore anybody. I did try put the photographs up, guys. I really did, but I implore everybody to go and check out that Mirror article and have a look at those two photographs with her mother. Um, she doesn't look great. People will say, "Oh well, she's not glammed up and all that, and she's wearing everyday clothes and all that, and blah blah blah." But no, you could tell by looking at her face. You could tell by looking at her face that she's stressed and she's thinking of. You could tell. Look. People are not stupid. You can tell by looking at someone's face most of the time what they're kind of thinking. That, or not thinking, but you know they're either sad, happy, or they're stressed. And she looks like she looks tired and she looks stressed. And remember, this girl has only recently come back off a holiday, right? I think she's back a couple of weeks. She was on holiday when all of this nonsense broke that she was leaving by the Mirror. So she's been on holiday. She's come back. She's back a week or two or whatever, maybe a week if I'm being generous, right? And she looks like shit.
Yeah.
You either caught her on a bad day, or as I said, you just have to look at the photographs. She's stressed. She's tired. She's not getting sleep. You can tell by looking under her eyes as well. It's like my eyes. I'm not getting much sleep. You can tell when I'm not getting much sleep because the dark circles in my eyes get darker. You know when I've got sleep because they're not as dark, right? I could tell that girl's not getting any sleep. 19 years of age, not getting sleep. She should be sleeping. So something is stressing her out, or something is not quite right. And if she was axed in the brutal way that she was axed, well, then shame on you, RTD, anyway, doing that to a 19-year-old. It's not a good look. Would it be a middle-aged showrunner axing a 19-year-old? Wouldn't be a good look, in my opinion. You know, we talk about feminism and all of this other crap. But where are all you feminists? He's gonna, if this turns out that this is the case, he got rid of her. Are all you feminists gonna stand up for her, or he's gonna just accept it? I know what yous will do. Yous will sell out. Yous won't give a shit about Millie. Of course, if she was a person of colour, it'd be a different situation. But yous won't give two shits about her. That's the sad thing about it. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what the reaction of this fandom is when we find out why she's not with us anymore. And if she was pushed and it transpires that they did replace her, and they'll put it in a nice way, we replaced her, but that means she was sacked. Will people be okay? You know, especially all these feminists that have been fighting for Jodie that are still in the fandom because they love shooty apparently all of a sudden. Are you all going to stick up for Millie and say it was wrong that she was sacked and replaced? Or will you stand by RTD like you already have and not bat an eyelid? See, that's why I don't like you, because you are a bunch of hypocrites. If you actually stood for what you stood for, I'd give you kudos for it. But you, like everything else, you will take a side, and when that's not as fashionable anymore, you will jump on something else. You know, all this thing that's happening. I won't get into politics here, but just briefly, all this thing with Palestine and Gaza, that's fashionable right now. Remember, the last fashionable thing was Ukraine, right? When something else big happens in the world, they'll forget about those people in Gaza and Palestine and what's happening, and they'll move on to the next fashionable thing. And that's what they're all about. So, you know, let's hope she wasn't sacked, because that would, well, it will. It will come back to him, because fans like us won't
won't tolerate it.
Take that. No. And I don't mind. Listen, even if your woman comes in that's good and she ends up being great, it still won't make a difference in my opinion. You got rid of an actress that you made a big deal out of, announced her children in need, and then you get rid of her like that because, well, whatever. We'll find out, won't we? Anyway, we'll get you to do use our channel channels, but before you do, I'll obviously do me, because I know you never say that, because you know me, I just go now and I don't really say that anymore. But I have a couple of new things coming up, so I might as well bring them up. So what day? It's Wednesday now. See, when I did the last live stream on Monday, I thought it was Tuesday, and I thought I'd be back the next day, and then I realized, oh shit, it's only Monday. I did a live stream Monday thinking it was Tuesday, thinking I'll just come on and do a live stream for them, right? And then I realized, oh shit, it's Monday. I'm at the doing a live stream, and now fucking I says, oh, the stream with Charlotte PD Rich not for another 2 days. I thought it was the next day. I was looking forward to it. I was all, I can't wait. I even said it on stream. Oh, yeah, I'll be streaming with Queen Charlotte and PD tomorrow. Come and join us. Like, that was on the Monday. Not even thinking it was Wednesday. On my time is all over the place. But anyway, it is Wednesday. I get that out. But it is Wednesday. So, tomorrow, back to normal, pre-record. I just have to remind myself what the topic is. Hold on, I have them all saved. See, I'm actually starting to get out professional. Even though I'm not a professional and I never claimed to be a professional, or I never claimed to have fans like some of these gobshites do. Oh, I got fans. I don't have a fan club, trust me, dear. All my subscribers fucking hate me as well. They're just here to see the daily fucking meltdowns. That's all it is. That's all it is. I know and they know. That's what makes this good. I'm only messing up. But yeah, the only talent I have is talent for talking. But the topic of conversation, where is it? Because yes, no, that's not it. Why have I got? I shouldn't be doing that. Oh yeah, I want to talk about this. This gives me a bit of satisfaction as well, actually. Right. So we'll be talking a little bit more about the new actress, Verada Shittu, who's going to be the new companion. Doctor Who star shooting Gatwa film scenes with new companion. So we're going to be talking about that after Millie Gibson's axe. So that was the day before, and then they doubled down with the other article. So she's definitely gone. And also, I want to talk about David Tennant. Because David Tennant is recently all over social media because David Tennant was hosting the BAFTAs. And it seems like there was a divide. The Sun say he was absolutely awful, and other media outlets are saying he was brilliant. Now, I did see one moment at the BAFTAs where he was hosting, where he had a little interaction with Michael Sheen, right? And it was the cutest thing with a dog. Now, I will give me opinion when I read the see how bad it was. I might actually check out the BAFTAs, right? Check the show itself before jumping at the gun. But I wouldn't say David Tennant is a natural host, is what I would say. But again, his wife had to be in the limelight. Oh, she got a tattoo on her finger, not a permanent one, because they're never permanent. Tattoo, yeah. They're virtual signal little twats, the Tennants. But she got a temporary tattoo saying trans rights were human rights on her fingers because she just couldn't help herself. She just couldn't go to an award ceremony and enjoy the fact that her husband was hosting. She had to go and send a message, and it looked like she was wearing what you call it, one of those bin bags as a dress. Just a different color, grey bin bag or whatever the thing she was wearing.
Yeah, I get them.
But the way these celebrity actresses, they wear bin bags and curtains, and we had Lady Gaga a few years ago wearing pork chops, or was it beef?
It was me. I can't remember what.
Yeah. So we've had to wear weird things, but again, she had to. I mean, this is why Tennant is. Someone mentioned it earlier on, right? This is why Tennant is untouchable now, and this is why Tennant's getting a lot of work. Now, Tennant didn't need to do this because Tennant was already getting work, and Tennant was very talented. right? And we all know that. I'm not going to take that away from him. He is a highly talented man, and I'll still watch him in stuff. I just don't like his opinions on the issues that he has in regarding trans issues with kids and his wife's opinions. Now, I don't care about her acting ability or anything got to do with her because, in fairness, you know, she hasn't had much of a career. So, you know, I'm not going to, you know, have a go at her there, but I just feel that the tenants are being very desperate now and very cringy, and I just think it's so obvious that they're just virtual signaling everywhere. And I'm not saying that Peter Davison is sorry, I'm just fixing this again. I'm not saying that Peter, what is going on with this? Oh, have we got new settings? There we go. I'm not saying that you know, if Peter Davison's not embarrassed, then because I would be if that was my daughter. I mean, you know, you're being highly controversial, and you just listen. I'm just going to say it out straight to you anyway, and you won't like this, right, when I say this, but it's the truth. Trans people have the same rights as the rest of us.
Everyone has
The
that
only
right.
right, but hold on, the only rights that they don't have is the right to invade women's safe spaces or women's sports, and all of the other stuff that trans people want. The bottom line is that there are people out there, the majority of the planet, don't subscribe to this, whether you like it or not. So, you know, we could easily make compromises in society to accommodate certain situations. For example, I don't think you should be using women's spaces. You know, there is a simple solution. You know, we do have male and female toilets, and we do have toilets for disabled people, and we even have baby changing rooms. You mean to tell me that we couldn't put male and female trans toilets in the mix? No. You know, there are simple solutions, but you don't want that. And you see, so that's why you don't have the right. And this is why there's a pushback. And you see, the problem is you can keep saying trans rights or human rights, they have the same rights. They just want extra rights. And they're not getting those extra rights because those extra rights infringe on women and other people out there. And that's the bottom line, but mostly women. Women are being affected more because of all of this nonsense, right? Because it's failed athletes, right? Male athletes that have transitioned that are going into women's sports and they're clearing up. Women in women's sports, if this current trend continues, you give it 20 years from now, no biological woman will hold a world record for any women's sporting event. It'll be all trans athletes. And if you think that's fair, then you need your head examined. It's not fair. So all you gender activists need to get a bit of cop on, right? The bottom line is trans people have the same rights as the rest of us. And you haven't getting the extra rights. Because if you get extra rights, then what will happen is everybody else will want extra rights.
Yeah.
And then you'll never get a point in society where anybody will be happy because someone will always be dissatisfied because someone has something that they don't have. We have learned this from, well, I thought we had learned from our past mistakes, but we seem to be making the same mistakes over and over again. So you should shut the fuck up with trans rights or human rights. We have the same rights. And I'm sick and tired of listening to activists come out with the same fucking nonsense time and time again. So Georgia Tennant, you know, you're doing, I get why you're doing what you're doing because one of your kids or whatever is non-binary, whatever, right? That's none of my business. I don't believe in all of that bullshit anyway. And I think it's very, you know, as a parent, I don't think you're doing your kids any favors anyway, subscribing to this shite. You should just let them grow up and just let them grow up to be kids. And then when they become an age where they can make all of these choices for themselves, then let them make that choice.
I mean, you certainly wouldn't let any of your kids get a tattoo or take drugs or maybe even get their ears pierced, right? But you will allow them to believe that they can change their gender and then knock bits off. That's okay for you. That'll never be okay for any morally sane person on this planet. And that's the majority of the planet. So you need to stop with your bullshit, and all you gender activists need to stop because you ain't winning this, right? The bottom line is, if you want to identify as a man or a woman and you're born the opposite, right, in biology, then that's fine, do that. But you're not going to force the rest of us in society to subscribe to it, right? And that's the problem that we have. There are trans people out there that don't interfere with everybody else, and they just get on with it like the rest of
Yeah,
us.
I met a
They're
few.
not getting it, but they're getting all the pushback now because of activists like you, Georgia Tennant. So you need to stop with your bullshit. And David, you know, I'll say to you as well, you need to stop as well. Listen, I know you love your missus, right? I know you love your missus. You adore her. We could tell. And we know, and I could tell that she adores you as well. But stop being a fucking instrument for that woman, right? There's no way you subscribe to that bullshit, right? Because you never showed any indication or any inkling up until recent times. And then all of a sudden, all of this nonsense comes out. You need to stop as well and actually, you know, learn. And what I'd say to Georgia Tennant and David is this: you need to go and learn a bit of biology, you know, because as you always say, you follow the science. Well, maybe you should. Maybe you used to skip biology class because I didn't, and the majority of the planet didn't skip biology class, right? Whatever you're born with, if you're born with a dingly little thing between your legs, you're male, right? If you're not born with one of those dingly little things between your legs, then you're not male, right? There's nothing in between, right? That's what you're born, right? That's it. End of story, right? No other mammal out there can change gender like us, apparently, right? We're the only mammals on the planet that can change gender. Right? Makes no fucking sense. Right? Our closest ancestors, can they change gender? And what's our closest ancestor? What do they say where we came from? So you're trying to tell me that the apes, gorillas, whatever, you're trying to tell me now that they're some of them were born in the wrong body, right? Horse is a mammal as well. Can a horse change gender? What, does it identify as a donkey? You know what I mean? Don't talk shit. Learn biology. Simple fucking biology. It's not that fucking hard. I'd ask for my money back if you were privately educated because you definitely need a fucking refund. I'll tell you that. Anyway, I'm back here tomorrow, pre-record. That's what I'll be talking about, but I've already talked about most of it now, so I'll probably have to find something else to bitch about. But anyway, there you go. Then Friday, I have 2 streams Friday, so obviously we have our normal stream here for all of you guys. That'll probably be an afternoon live stream, and then Friday night, then obviously myself, and I was supposed to announce the guests today, but never got around to talking to them. But I mean, they're already guaranteed to come on. I mean, I haven't spoke to them yet on the plans, but we're doing that tomorrow. Well, I could tell you who they are anyway. So I'll be joined by Cinnamon Toast Crunch and also Brendan from the Sensphere. And we're hoping to get one more person in there that we've streamed with on board. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be doing a few little segments on it. As time goes on, it will kind of, you will see what I'm trying to do with it. What we will be doing is we'll be talking about Doctor Who stuff, but we'll also then be doing types of stuff like games, quizzes, stuff like that. Coming up with I mean, Brendan did something on the Sensphere that I thought was deadly. He used these puppets and then he put these little things in the background, and you had to guess the name of the Doctor Who episode that he was trying to describe and stuff like that. And I thought that was a good idea. I've even tried to encourage him, maybe bring that on Fridays, and we might do something like that. I'd like to do stuff like that. So that's what we want to do. We want to change it up. So remember, YouTube does give me the ability to give away every month 10 free memberships. So next month I will get another 10, but make sure you're in, because it's at random, unfortunately. And that's the thing that's pissing me off, because I mean, there's some people that got memberships that I've never fucking seen in the chat. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
they've never been in, they've never been in the chat, and they've gotten memberships. Now, listen, it's up to you, Joe, I suppose, wherever, which way do you want to do it. But so yeah, so that's the thing. With the memberships, it's random, and it annoys me because I wanted to give it to certain people that have been very loyal to the channel, but it's just the way it's gone. But Chris Persia has just
Thank
gifted
you, Chris.
for it. So I don't know who got
Thanks,
them.
Chris.
But if your name comes up with the green writing with the symbol beside it, you are now a member, thanks to Chris Persia, who has bought 5 memberships, like, to give away. So
Thanks, Chris.
so thank you very much for that. But there you go. But as I said, with the members that we had, now the new members that we've got, and now Chris is at the adding more members. There'll be plenty of an audience to watch the membership stream. So I will see you all there on Friday. And as I said, we'll be talking about Doctor Who, but we also want to do have a bit of fun and stuff like that. I want to do something different. I actually want to do what I wanted to do all along, but never got around to do it because, you know, obviously I was starting off, and I never had a permanent panel that, unlike used to guys, obviously used to have been permanent, which is great.
Yeah.
But when I assembled other panels, they all collapsed and fell apart. So we can never keep them. But I think with this team we have on Friday nights, I think it'll work. So hope so. So join me for that. And then over the weekend, you know, if I feel up to it, that's the way I'll just put it is. If I feel up to it, I'll do a pre-record or two. There's always Doctor Who news anyway. Clobby apparently is a member. So there you go. Nobody has the ability to select who gets free memberships. Darn it, YouTube. I know it's stupid. It should give you. You should be able to tap on someone's name. In fairness, but you know what? Feck it, 5 randos. We've had it's. You said Clobby got one, so that's one person that we know, and a couple of people when I gave them away that we know also got them, but the majority of them did go to people I didn't, so I was a bit disappointed about that. But what can you do? That's YouTube for you. But as I said, I will continue to be able to give them away every month. So if you're in the chat, I'm hoping that if you're in the chat, you might have a better chance of getting one. So get in the chat next month. Make sure you're in. I'll announce before I put them up anyway. What I normally do is I drop 5 on one stream and I drop 5 on another stream. So that way then hopefully I can mix it up a little bit. Anyway, I will hand you over to Queen Charlotte, who's been waiting patiently for me to shut the fuck up. I'm finally going to shut the fuck up now, and I've probably had this stream demonetized because I've said shut the fuck up so many fucking times.
No, you did that before, no, don't worry.
So now I'm going to hand you over to Randy. It's the one and only Miss Queen Charlotte.
So Type 40 Lives, we're now fully back on Thursday, and I don't know what we're doing tomorrow night, but last week we talked about a lot of the silly things that are going around, including Russell wanting to turn Stephen Taylor into a cow, and quite a few people like my reaction to that story. So if you want to see me utterly break and just burst out laughing, you can see that. And I've also done a couple of pre-records that's keep your eyes out on the Spacebook. Me and Starry went and chatted about Argyle and sort of our review of it, and then me and Starry and Dan and Ian sort of had talked about the trailers at the Super Bowl. So if you want to hear me talk non-Doctor Who, that'll be coming out on the Spacebook soon. And I also did a roundtable, which is a pre-record for Type 40, so that should be coming out soon when Dan's edited that. And I've also our lovely friend Cinnamon Toast Crunch, me and PD have done 2 streams of him talking about games and Doctor Who and the industry and lots of fun things. So you'll catch me and PD there.
Yeah, and I should actually add that I will be on Cinnamon's channel. There were wires crossed because he did send me a link, but I thought he was going to send it through DM on X because that's where we mostly talk. But apparently he sent it by email, but I never checked my email, which is probably my bad. I should have probably checked the email, but I was mid-rant anyway because I saw I didn't get an email, or I didn't get the link, so I was thinking, oh, maybe the stream was cancelled. So I went and did a stream on X anyway, and it turned out that he did send it. But I am going to be appearing on Cinnamon's channel, so do check it out. You're not the only one, no. I'm the same. I hate the only time I actually use my email actually is when I'm probably sending all the guys emails. I hardly check it. And Peter actually from Australia will send me an email. So he'll text me. But the thing about Peter is he'll actually text me on X to tell me through DM to tell me that he sent me an email and will I take a look at it. So yeah, no, it was wires crossed, but mostly mine. So Cinnamon was like, yeah, we have to get you back on. I said, yeah, of course I will. I'll come on your channel, man, anytime. And I want you all to support Cinnamon because he's doing.
Yeah, he's a good man.
I even popped in. Now, I wasn't there for the whole stream, not going to lie, but I think I joined. I came into the chat when you were 45 minutes in. And from what I was listening to, they were talking about, obviously, The Witcher and other stuff. So there was great conversation there. You should go and check it out. So check out Cinnamon Toast Crunch's channel. But I'm going to hand you over to PD Rich, who's actually going to list off and impress us with his memory by putting out all the channels. He always forgets one, but let's see.
He has been doing it since whilst I was talking and you were.
So let's see. Does he get them all? So go ahead, PD. The floor is yours, mate.
I was going to put a few ones in tonight to keep the channel nice, keep the chat nice and clear. But if you want me to, I'll try. Okie dokie. Everyone knows I'm from Rabbi from another planet. I follow Rabbi. If you want news about Israel and Palestine, he'll tell you the truth, not the falseness. Oh, did you get that other story, Noel, recently? Just jumping to it about Kevin McNally.
No.
Oh my God, you missed a good one there.
That's a drama and a half.
I've got to be honest. I try to keep out. See, people are going to criticize me for this, but I've gotten so bored of the whole Palestine shit.
Oh no, it's not bad. It's not Doctor Who,
Ukraine shit that I've actually blocked those keywords on Twitter. I don't see any posts from those lefty lunatics. I'm sick of it all.
Oh, I think we're
you know what I mean? It's so, isn't it? It's always the same though, PD, isn't it? And Queen Charlotte, it's always something fucking. Once that one's gone, it's something else, and it's something else.
Yeah, they'll move on like locusts, you know.
Sick and tired of it all, so I've just blocked them. Same with fucking Love Island, because all that shit is because that show has been back on. I blocked them words as well because I'm sick of Love Island.
Oh, I hate Love Island. Ian Sterling's voice makes me cringe.
So that's what I do now. And I don't want to see on my feed. I just block certain keywords now, and I don't see them. And that, you know, I can control my Twitter to a certain extent. So if I don't want to, and I won't give me opinion on that bullshit either. The bottom line is, it's nothing to do with me. I'm an Irish man. I'm concerned about my country.
Yeah, that's same as. I know.
So go ahead.
But as I said, you want to know the truth. Rabbi always tells you what his side of the story, so you want both sides of the story. Listen to Rabbi about it. You can even talk to him on Twitter about it if you really want, or X, sorry, if you really want. But no, I was talking about the story about Kevin McNally at Gallifrey 1. Did you hear that one?
No, I don't keep up with Gallifrey 1 anymore.
I'll tell you about it afterwards. Anyway, who are we missing? We got that. We got Daniel in there. We've got
Ballstreck, Brendan Stenspear.
Yeah, got Rabbit.
Actually, they're all there. Look. He did put them up in fairness to him. So there we go. We got Brendan Stenspear there. We've got Ballstreck resurrected channel, but he's kind of gone on a bit of a quiet one lately, hasn't he? Jordan Jack Rabbit there. We've got the Gobsters channel also there as well. All these links are in the chat. PD does put the time and patience into putting them up, because that would wreck my head. The Rabbi from Another Planet is in there as well. We've also got the Cinnamon Toasters channel, as we said, which should come up any second now, but this is being stupid. There you go. It's there. Daniel's channel. Of course, Daniel covers wrestling and all sorts on there. And of course, Queen Charlotte just mentioned Dan's channel there as well. Type 40. And have I forgotten anybody? I don't think so. I think we covered it. Oh, yeah. Chris has put in Gary. I'll put in the Nerdaholics, I should say. Yeah, you forgot.
Yeah, you just got it. Well done, Chris. Yeah.
Well done. Oh, yeah, and there you go. He's put Lee's YouTube channel up, but Chris has put his Aldred audio visual channel up as well. Listen, there's so many now.
Yeah, I know.
That it's not Pete. So if he does ever forget anybody, or we do forget anybody, we're not doing it deliberately, by the way. It's just that we've got so many in the community that we kind of link up with, and other people stream on our channels as well. There you go. We've got the Real Super Doctor there as well. They're all coming out, and check it out. I have to get Real Super Doctor on. It's been a while. He's been busy as well, but I do like having Real Super Doctor on, especially when we talk.
That's about it. If I missed you one, I apologise.
Literally got everybody.
Yeah,
I missed one, I apologise, but hey, that's most of them.
But if we have missed anybody, well, then tough shit, you're not good enough.
You're not in my memories. There we go.
I'm only joking. Oh no, if we did forget anybody, it's because genuinely we got a load of years now at this stage, and you know, at this stage, what's going to happen is sometime in the future, is like when we come on, PD is going to spend the whole fucking stream just putting up every single fucking link to everybody, because we'll probably know hundreds of people by then, and you'll have hundreds of channels to put up. I hope your fingers are ready for it.
No, I think PD will put his foot down at that point.
Yeah. We write a macro. We just have a macro.
Listen, we do our bit here, right? We promote a lot of fucking channels here, right? Let's just say it's never reciprocated in not all. Well, I won't say it for all, but let's just say we don't even look for that either. But you know, common courtesy and respect and all of that. But we'll always call out people on here, especially people that we stream with and people that we like, because we do genuinely support everybody in this community that we've run in with. Even the people that I don't really talk to anymore, you know, I might check out their channels once in a while, see what they're up to, see what they're doing, you know, and some of them are putting out some great content, and it's great to see. Do you know what I mean? I've grown up quite a lot. Do you know, I used to hold grudges and shit like that. There's no point. Life's too fucking short. You know, so we're all going to be dead in the next 15, 20 years anyway, because these bastards are determined to kill us all anyway. So we got to fight back, save ourselves. But but as I said, you know, we'll do our bit in this community. We will promote anybody, and give, whether that's a channel starting off or whether it's a channel that's already established. You know, we like to just, you know, give a shout out there to people that we respect, really. I suppose that's the bottom line of it, you know. So there you go. And we won't stop doing that. There were a few times I wanted to stop promoting channels because, you know, people were just being mean to me, but that'd be me just being petty now at this stage, wouldn't it? And I gone past the pettiness, as I said. So just we just do it, and that's it. End the story. But PD is right, and Queen Charlotte is right. If we get to nearly promoting, like the list starts getting any bigger, we'd be fucked. So, and we did forget Clubby. Do you know what I mean? So soon we forget. Here's Clubby. We forgot Clubby. We fucking forgot
Clubby. I
Clubby.
haven't seen him in ages.
Of all channels, we forgot. We forgot Clubby. And Clubby's been knocking out of the park. He's been doing his Voyager reviews. You know, I don't normally go into the chat anymore because what happens when I normally go in there and everybody, hey Noel, and then blah blah blah.
He's always too busy, yeah.
And I just want to listen to what everybody has to say. So he's been doing Voyager. They're on, I think they were reviewing season 5. So they've been doing streams on that. So as everybody knows, I'm actually a Voyager fan. So it does be interesting to hear what other Trekkies actually think of Voyager, because with a lot of Trekkies, you know, Voyager mightn't be the most popular show. So it does be very interesting when I hear other people. So because I defend that show quite a lot, even though I know it's got its problems, I do. It's my favorite crew actually. The crew that I really look at it, every single one of them, even Neelix, you know, when he leaves and all, I'm gutted. Like that's, you know, he's annoying. Neelix is an annoying little twat. There were a few times that I wish he was hooked out of an airlock, and then when he turned into Tuvix, I was hoping that Janeway didn't make the decision to separate them, because I didn't really want Neelix there, right? And Tuvok was kind of getting on me fucking nerves as well. But then when the dilemma came up, I was like, oh no, I want Neelix and fucking Tuvok back. So, you know, some characters were more developed than others, is what I'd say. And some of the stories were spot on, and then some of the stories were absolutely fucking awful. But I was still defending. Anyway, there you go. Voyager is every Saturday, but Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday are open geek discussions. So there you go. That's what you get on Clubby's channel there. So Voyager, and I know he's done Next Generation episodes, reviews, and I know he's done the classic ones as well. So it's nice to see channels like Clobber and Times, you know, proper fan channels, you know, celebrating whatever franchise they love, and that's great. Yeah, Chris. I know Neelix was a pain in the hole, but when he did leave and Tuvok did the little dance for him, that was a lovely moment. That was, because those two had a lot of history, you know, and I think Tuvok in the end did respect Neelix, and I think Neelix did win him over, and I thought that was a lovely moment, and that symbolised that for me, and I was kind of delighted, because I didn't want Tuvok to be a bit of a prick to Neelix when he was leaving, and the fact that he wasn't, you know, and even he was the one that encouraged him, saying you can do it. You know, he was the one that kind of encouraged him, like, you can't do it officially, but if you were to do this, that, and the other, like it was Tuvok that like literally convinced him to stay there. Now, whether he had an ulterior motive because he didn't like him, but you see with that scene, and it wasn't because of that. It was because he genuinely believed in Neelix. That's why I love that scene. That scene is so underrated, because if you understand the complexities of that relationship, and see how it spanned over the years, that was the nice touching moment right there. And it was everything that I wanted as a fan, that Tuvok finally acknowledged that Neelix was a valued member. He'd say things that he was valued member, but you never really believed that Tuvok was convinced of that. But right there and then, I was. And that was the payoff there. You know, the Voyager writers get a lot of stick and rightly so. There were some things that they did that were stupid, but they handled certain situations and certain characters went out the right way, in my opinion. Um, and that look, I still watch that show to this day. I mean, it's that old now. I still watch that show to this day at the same ratio that it was back in the day as well, by the way. Right? I love it. I love it. I'll watch that, even though Caretaker Part 1 and 2 was boring as hell. Right? It's the next episode after that that gets a bit juicy. Obviously, when they're in the Delta Quadrant proper. Right? You go on that first mission and they come across the wormhole. Do you remember? Not the wormhole, whatever it is, they end up fucking something's happening in the ship and they're all going to bleed and die or whatever. Right? It was great episode. Right? But season 1 was steady, you know. Season 2, up and down. But by the time we got to season 4, 5, 6, 7, they're the 3. Those seasons are absolutely brilliant. They have some of the best stories as well. So, you know, I'm glad there are people out there, and hopefully they're giving Voyager a little bit more credit than maybe it would have got back in the day. But look, one thing that they do get criticised for was the lack of ambition. And I do agree with that, because your guy that played Chakotay was very vocal. He thought Year of Hell Part 1 and 2 should have been a whole season arc. A lot of us actually say, even Future's End Part 1 and 2, you could have made a whole season on that alone, and it would have been fucking brilliant. Same with Endgame Part 1 and 2. The ending of Voyager is very disappointing to me, but I still like it because it has some moments. But for me, Endgame had to be a whole season arc. And if Endgame had been a whole season arc, that would have been absolutely some of the best Trek you would have got ever. And I don't say that lightly. There was so much they could have done with Endgame, right? But they squeezed it and condensed it into 2 episodes, and that pissed me off. If it had been a whole season arc, that would have been amazing. Seriously, imagine, right? Think about it. They find the Unimatrix, right? They find it. They go into that cloud, they find it, right? Then the Borg Queen is alerted that they found it. She goes then and threatens them through 7 of 9, which she originally did, right? But instead of, like, you know, cramming in the whole getting the plan together and all of this, what you would have done is for a few episodes, let them try get there, but they fail, right? And then they come up with this big elaborate plan. Then future Admiral Janeway pops out of nowhere and changes the whole game, right? Then all of a sudden Voyager has the advantage, right? And then the last few episodes, then you focus then on them trying to get through. It would have been so much fleshed out a lot more, right? Why the Borg Queen was so determined not to let them go through the wormhole. All of this, you could have extended that whole thing to a whole season, and it would have been some of the most spectacular TV you would have saw back then. That's the only criticism I have of the writers. They could have been a lot ambitious, because they showed in certain episodes, in single episodes, that their writing was top notch and they could produce some of the. I mean, Shattered is one of the best episodes out there. If you've never seen Shattered, brilliant. Displaced is another one. Great episode, right? You had your few duds, like, what was that one with the clown?
The 4.
What was it called?
The 4, THAW.
Yeah, that's the one. Awful, right? But see the end of that? See the end? The episode itself is absolutely awful. But the last 5 minutes of that episode are some of the best writing you'll see. When Janeway outsmarts him.
Yeah.
Right? That is brilliant. Another one, right? One of my favourites, and it's still one of my favourite episodes. But you could have done a whole season on this as well. Counterpoint. Counterpoint is where Janeway, I swear, I thought she got conned. When I originally watched that, I thought, oh no, she's after falling for it. Oh, bollocks. And then it twists, right? And you see she's tricked him, right? And then she changes the music, right? And then and then she just starts talking, and your man is just, what was his name? Fascist, or whatever he's fucking. He had a weird name, and he knows that he's beaten, and like his second in command wants to take them all in, but he realizes that she's literally after making the show them all, and they'll end up being court-martialed and sent to prison. So Janeway gets away with it. But that episode counterpoint, I'm telling you, some of Janeway's best fucking Kate Mulgrew's acting is fucking superior in that. She's fucking brilliant in that. She doesn't get the credit she deserves either. I don't believe she does. Because it was very new for the blokes in Star Trek to get a female captain. Remember?
Yeah.
Star Trek did it before Doctor Who did it. But in my opinion, I think Star Trek did it better. Because Janeway is still talked about today. No matter what you think of Voyager overall, I don't think anybody questions Kate Mulgrew as Captain Janeway. Yes, her character did stagnate and never really changed over the 7 years, but that's not her fault. That's the writer's fault. You know what I mean? But when she was given a chance to shine, she was absolutely fantastic. She's up there as one of my top captains anyway. You know, I'd put her up there with Cook and Picard. And I know people will laugh at me. They'll put Cisco there before her and all of this. I can understand why people put Cisco there, because I've started to watch, as you know, I've been watching Deep Space Nine. But she's still, for me, she's ahead of him. That's just mine. Right, I'll leave it there.
Anyway.
Thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And we'll be back here with the gang, with the guys, next week. And I'm pretty sure we'll have something to talk about because, it's never a dull day in the Doctor Who fandom. So, yeah, I'm off now to do what I have to do. Anyway, yeah, being fun. Good night. God bless you all, and take care of yourselves and stay safe and all of that. And watch out for those government murdering bastards, trying to wipe us all out. Use ourselves.
They're such idiots, they'll wipe themselves out first.
Good night, everybody.
Anyway,
well, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think any of us would be opposed to that, but anyway, we're civilized. Anyway, good night, folks. Have a good one. I'll see you soon.
All right.